Today we're going to take you with us to our most favorite, I think, national park. At least it's the one that we have been to the most.
At least a dozen times together.
Yeah.
It was just like one of those places where it gave us a new perspective on these national parks itself and the beauty that surrounds them. And this park is so majestic and so beautiful. It's just like, we wanted more. We kept coming back for more and more and more.
I always like to start at the visitor center. It's a great place to understand what the current conditions are. If you're going to be out hiking, if there's particular river crossings you've got to be cautious about. That's where you can find out where you can get to with shuttles during your time. So there might be certain places where you can leave your car behind if you're at a campground. And of course, if you have the national park passport, you can get your stamp there, which I highly recommend you do.
Yes. Let's talk about Lodgepole because we're kind of really familiar with that one. And
it feels like a timeshare for us, huh?
Been there a lot.
Yeah.
Been there quite a bit. We love the camping there. We have done most of our camping in a tent. We have walked and spotted out our favorite spots, and we try to get those spots every time. There is a stream that runs through the area. It is absolutely gorgeous. There are times during the year where it's not so full, there's not a lot of snow runoff. There's times where it's just bursting over, and it just sounds absolutely beautiful.
One other thing I'll throw in about the campgrounds, and I know this for a fact about Lodgepole because we deal with this every single year. If you want to make reservations, they take them 6 months to the day in advance of when you want to go. That's when you want to get on recreation.gov, because otherwise you're going to be not as certain of getting the site that you want or even getting a reservation at all. When you drive through, you'll check in at the station at the entrance to Lodgepole, where they'll check you in for your site.
The campsites, most of them will provide picnic tables, you get fire grills, they have the bear-proof storage boxes, which are very important to use within Sequoia National Park. Lodgepole has a market, showers, has laundry facilities, it has a restaurant, and it even has a gift shop.
We're going to take a walk through the campsite 36 to 60 section. This is one of the first loops you'll encounter when you drive into Lodgepole.
You cannot have a generator here, and most of the sites have small access, so you don't have big RVs.
So part of this loop also has a number of walk-in sites, which means you're going to park your car at a particular area and then you got to lug your gear here. But some of these walk-in sites, as you can see here, this is going to be your view of this river running through the Lodgepole Campground. And if your tent is sitting on a spot kind of like that one, that ain't bad. So that first main loop, you've got combination of primarily tent sites, a few that you can drive into, and a number of them that are walk-in only. But wait, there's more. It's interesting when you come here on busy weekends, like a Memorial Day weekend, this main parking lot at Lodgepole is packed. There's not going to be an open space if you get here later in the day. But then on some weekdays, crowds thin out and the day visitors don't jam up the parking lot. And there's a lot of tent sites that are open as well. So depending on what kind of experience you want, if you want a little quieter experience, potentially coming up here during the middle of the week, especially at the beginning of the season, is going to get you more solitude than the heavier, busier times of the year. And here you've got the main RV section just over the bridge. Accommodations for various sizes of rigs. Again, no hookups here. We ended up thinking that we would score by getting the only pull-through site that's in Lodgepole, which is 197. But after this experience, it's not a straight pull-through site, so we actually had a bit of a challenge getting configured here in a way that we were happy. It's a pull-through site, that it is, but it curves, so it took us a bit to get situated such that we felt we could get the truck off the trailer and then after unhitching back on it in a way that we're going to get hitched up correctly. Also navigating the tree that's on the right hand side was a bit of a challenge, so next time we are going to look for a different spot in this area. Close to just about every one of the campsites over here is a bathroom area, so especially for tent campers. There's men's rooms, women's rooms, and in the back of most of these areas are utility sinks where you can wash some things out. Alrighty, and take a look at a typical campsite over here. You've got yourself a pad, bear box to store your food, and picnic table. The back part of the Lodgepole area is what's called the Upper Loop. This is a place that's reserved solely for tent campers. It's one of the nicest parts of the park, I think, too, for this particular campground. It's quiet, there's lots of shade, there's proximity to the river. There's a couple of sites back here where you may have to haul your stuff, not too far, but it's not necessarily adjacent to where you park your car. But between all of those options that we've discussed, lots of places to camp here, and it's a wonderful place. We've got the Lodgepole Market Center where you can come to buy supplies, food items, beverages, firewood.
One thing I'll say about the market at Lodgepole, if you make your way up to the Lodgepole area specifically, that market has just about everything that you would need. So if you forget something, it could be anything from fruit to your s'mores stuff to bottles of wine and beer, water, and all kinds of, canned foods, etc. They've got it.
And while there's no cell or internet service at Sequoia National Park at Lodgepole, there are a series of payphones for those of you who remember those. And if you insert a few quarters, you can make contact with the place you call home.
The other thing that we've taken advantage of in the campground, especially when we've tent camped for multiple days, is their shower facilities there. I think there's laundry facilities as well.
There's shower, yep.
So the showers, they're quarter operated, so you either come up with a whole bunch of quarters or you're going to have to get change up there through the machine. But there is that option as well, so that's kind of nice.
All along our travels, we meet so many great people, and a few of them would be somebody that we met at Sequoia. His name was Don.
Yeah, Don was helpful because we got to this pull-through site that wasn't a straight pull-through, it was a big curve, and
there was some obstacles. It was not straight shoot.
Yeah, Don saw us having a problem, and long story short on that one is he helped us get the Airstream parked in the space. Super
nice guy. And as we got to know him over the few days, we also got to know that he actually lived pretty close by us in a couple counties over, and that he spent his childhood really at Sequoia and kept coming back with his family.
Yeah, from
year after year.
From age 7 to the present day.
He was camping with his son at that point, but had his own trailer, and so we actually knocked on his trailer door.
You did, yeah, I do remember that.
Because I'm like, help! And he did. He was super nice. We kind of asked him a few questions. I guess we were prying a little bit, but he was happy to share.
He shared with us that he's been coming to Sequoia for so many years, and we just kind of were interested in his memories, like what has changed and why he keeps coming back.
Yeah, it's one of his favorite places. I think it's relatively close to him. So for us, that's the same thing. We go back because it's pretty close. But he has seen a lot of different changes that we haven't since he's been coming since childhood. Things like at the Giant Forest location, it used to be a restaurant. And he remembers going into the restaurant and having meals there with his mom and dad.
Yeah, when I was, 7, 8 years old, that was my first trip to Sequoia National Park too. And I thought I remembered that same location where the Giant Forest Museum is today, that used to be a restaurant. And Don, lo and behold, he confirmed that, indeed, that was the case.
He even showed us a picture of his family car parked in front of the restaurant, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I also mentioned that's kind of the same location. They used to have a Chevron gas station, which you don't find those in Sequoia National Park anymore.
Yeah, and there was an ice house behind the restaurant too, which I'm sure that the restaurant used, and I guess it was available for campers. So that stuff is all gone. It's all gone now.
Yeah. But we're interested in learning from Don, what is it that draws him and that has him keep coming back?
And he just said he has an admiration and love of the mountains. And for us too, I think it's the same. It's just, it draws you back because it gives you a sense of majesty.
Yeah. So he keeps coming back, we keep coming back, and maybe, who knows, maybe next time we'll bump into Don again. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us, and with future YouTubes, we hope to give you more of a flavor of the people that we meet on our travels.
It's somewhere around $20 or $22 a night. I think about where we stay in Lodgepole. You mentioned the stream or the river that runs through there. You're in this, one of the most beautiful places I can picture being in for camping, and to have that experience for $20 a night, I feel that this is one of the biggest steals that you can come across. I mean, I would rather be at Sequoia, at Lodgepole for $20 a night than almost any other place I can think of that's a 4 or 5 star hotel where I'm going to be paying $300, $400, $500 a night. For me, there's like no better place than camping in Sequoia National Park.
Well, and you get the perks of it. You're sitting in your campsite, and usually within the early morning or sometimes in the evening at twilight, there's deer that just come wandering through the sites, and they're just fun to watch. I mean, you never approach, obviously.
It's just one of these places that we've returned to over and over again. And at this point in my life, I think in our life, it feels to me it's become a ritual. It's kind of like every year I look forward to Thanksgiving, I look forward to Christmas, I look forward to our almost annual trip to Sequoia. And when a year goes by, like last year because of COVID, where we couldn't go because the campgrounds were not open, it just felt like a hole in the year for me, you know.
Hey, so thanks for watching this video. We hope this gives you an inspiration to come to Sequoia National Park and camp at Lodgepole. Hopefully we'll see you out here in the future.
So thanks for joining us at the places where we go. And if you like this video and want to see future videos, hit the subscribe button and like us down below. And if you have any comments, please leave comments for us because we love to read them.
Thanks for watching.
At the places where we go. So thanks for listening to us, and with future podcasts.
This is YouTube.
So thanks for joining us at the places where we go.
And if you like this video, subscribe. One more time. When we travel, we meet people.
Yeah.